Get a little bit of gasoline. You come gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. You come gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. Get a little bit of gasoline. Welcome to another water city. I'ma make it burn.
Alright guys, Thursday night, back in the shop. I know I've been going at it gangbusters, putting videos up pretty much every day. Maybe you guys get tired of seeing this car, I don't know. But anyways, I had filmed a bunch of video footage of the front bumper and all that being put on, the radiator being put in, the braces that I had to make, mounts for that, and dummy me, I had the radio on in the shop, so I can't use any of that, so I threw it all away, deleted it all. So I guess you guys have missed part of the radiator put in and how I went about making the brackets, but I can show you. We'll just show you really quick, get you off the tripod. So when I left you last, we finished the water pump, or the power steering pump, mounting that up. Well, after I turned the camera off last night, and then I went ahead and turned it back on, made another one of putting the whole front bumper assembly on, getting the radiator in, the hose is all hooked up. The problem that I was having was the radiator was just kind of sitting in there, and there was no mounts to keep it down in there. So these brackets here, I didn't see any tabs. Normally we'd use adjustable brackets like this right here. So they got a little set screw down in here, and you loosen that up and you can slide this in or out. These, like this one up here for the front bumper cover mount, and this one down here that goes to the inner part of the fender, that's all adjustable. So when you go to load it on the trailer, you can suck the nose in, you don't tear the nose off. And also on your fenders here, so if you got something out of whack and they check it, you can adjust for that. They're all on the back here. Say hi, Buck.
What's up?
They're all on the back here on the side body mounts and on the rear tailpiece mount. Everything's adjustable, even the rear deck lid. You got adjustable there on the other side as well. So we like to use those so we can adjust everything. But the radiator pretty much is going to stay fixed where it's at. So I took some oblong tubing, I put it in my vise and I smashed the ends, drilled them out, was able to bend the tabs over and use existing mounts that were already here, because I didn't see anywhere that they had tabs to put this radiator, secure it down in. I don't know if they were just using the air box to keep it secured in or what, but I like mine a little more solid than that. This ain't going nowhere now. Pretty simple. We'll take those back out and repaint them white to match the rest of the car, or maybe we'll paint them black to match the other crossbar. I don't know. Anyways, just wanted to give you an update. So we got the front bumper on, we got the radiator in, hoses on, headers are on, water pump we put on, the pulleys, the power steering. I think next we're gonna get the carburetor and put on. What we're going to put on here for now is my 2-barrel, my quick fuel 2-barrel, which is a pretty expensive carburetor that I ordered for the street. We're going to put it on there. It's not going to be the one that's going to stay on there. But what we got to do, I can't even get to it, it's down in here hiding. We're going to put that one on for now till we get a 4-barrel to put on it. Holley double pumper, probably a 650, maybe a 750. But we got to have a carburetor on it. So we're going to put the 2-barrel on there, figure out all of our wiring, do some testing, see what wires are what, and get everything hooked back up so this car can fire up. We got to get some, we're going to put some coolant in it for now because we're in the middle of winter. We'll drain it out before we start racing it. And we want to get it up to a good temperature for a couple of different heat cycles, drain the oil out of it, put new oil in it, do an oil change and all that. So we just want to make sure we got all of our wiring and everything correct. So this car does have a lot of different wires. You see those fans that are on the front bumper support there? There's ducting that goes to the nose, that goes to the brakes to cool the brakes. We got switches inside for those. We got switches on all four corners. I believe it's all four corners. I'd have to look. But then we got our main ignition. We've got like our tack and all that to hook up. We've got our oil pressure light to hook up. We've got the temperature light where if you hit over 230 degrees or whatever, that light's going to come on, let you know you're running hot. Do what? Buck wants to interrupt me while I'm in the middle of making a video and make me lose train of thought. So anyways, yeah, so we got to get all that done, and we got to get this motor ready to fire up so that we can go through and diagnose everything, make sure everything's good. Our throttle linkage is right back here. Got it sitting back there, so it'll get attached in right to this arm down here, right here, and then to the carburetor up there. We've got everything, like I said, that we need to put it together. We're just going to slowly pick away at it. This right here is a blower that goes to your, attaches to your helmet to give you fresh air. It bolts in right there. See the holes? It took me forever to find where that thing was supposed to actually be, and then I found it. So what we're going to do there is that big ducting that we use. There's a piece of it over here that we use for the radiator, or for the brakes. This right here will go into the other side. I mean, they got a filter. You can pull the air right out of the inside, but if you got any smoke or anything going on in the cab, you're going to be breathing that. So I'm going to run mine. I'm going to run a housing on this and hook a tube to the other side and run it over to the passenger window to where we've got these ducts that go into the wing window basically, and it'll be pulling fresh air in from outside the car into that vent and then into my helmet. That way, if you get any smoke or anything leaking, exhaust fumes inside the car, you're not just in a bubble breathing that. All right, well, sorry I missed out on all that video footage for you guys. I went back and reviewed it. I always do. And then I heard the radio playing on there. I'm like, oh, well, can't use that. You guys have a good night. We'll get the rest going and keep you up to date. All right, well, this is my last video, guys. At the beginning of this video, you seen I got the radiator put in, got the front bumper put on, the supports made for the radiator. We went ahead. I don't know if people aren't interested in this late model build or what, but our views have been down since I've been posting these, so I decided I wasn't going to make an everyday video about it. I just jump in there and get her done and show the last, when I'm got her ready to go, I guess. I don't know. What I'm going to do is, we've got her, I went ahead and jumped into it and got most of everything done. The wiring's all done. Got our remote reservoir on. Our lines are all ran for the power steering. We threw my 2-barrel quick fuel 2-barrel on there for now. That's not the one that's going to be on it to stay. That's just the one so I can do systems checks, cooling, go ahead and all the electrical, the brakes. We'll do all of that before we even hang the body, but we're really, really close to hanging the body right now like it is. Like I said, I just went ahead and jumped in it and did it. And we even got the seat mounted. I went through and figured all the wiring out. That was a little tricky, but I'll go ahead and pull you off the tripod for a minute and let you check some things out. So like I said, we just have my 2-barrel on here that we ran in the street stocks. It's actually a very good 2-barrel. I bought it from Quick Fuel. It's a pretty high dollar one. We got Like I said, the radiator's all in, the front bumper's all on. The supports we made, we painted them black to match the car. We made a bracket to mount the reservoir. Rather than ordering one, I just got out my welder and made one. Got all the lines hooked up. We still got to get belts on it. We don't have any belts on it yet. Like the exhaust is all completely done, like you've seen. So inside here, there was just everything was unhooked. I didn't know what went where or anything like that. I just had to do a bunch of testing with test lights and figure it out. Yeah, so, and like I said, we got the seat all mounted in. It's a little dirty for me stepping on it. I had to switch over to my 15-inch wheel out of the street, which I got to order another one because this one has a 16.5. I got longer legs than the guy before and longer upper torso, so we had to move the seat as far back as we can get it and as down low as we can get it. My head was actually up above the halo bars. You heard me preach before. Your head should never be above those bars. You're just asking for trouble. If you roll over, there goes your head. I don't care what helmet you got on. So we got that seat down in there and I fit really good. The only issue that I kind of have is on the accelerator. You can see where that foot box is notched out. It's kind of hard to see like right there. See how that foot box is notched out? I have big feet, so I kind of clip the edge of that box, but I haven't tried it with my race shoes on, and my race shoes are a lot smaller, just with my street shoes. I've kind of done some adjusting there to make it work. If I had to race it this way, it'd be all right. I could manage that, but if with my race shoes it's not more comfortable, this kind of got some trick brakes on it. Most of these you see, they either got hanging pedals and the master cylinders are up above it, or they got floor mounted pedals like that are actually, the master cylinders are on the other side of the foot box. This one, the master cylinders are actually on the floor, so that's why that's that raised panel. You see all the lines going underneath there that are going to the master cylinders, but there shouldn't be anything over underneath the gas pedal side. So if I still have an issue with it, I may look at taking that box off and redoing that box so that on the gas pedal side it's all the way down to the floor, and then we'll leave it over top of the brake master cylinder and the clutch master cylinders. There's two master cylinders underneath there for the brake and one for the clutch, because you run different master cylinders from the front to the rear. And that's a rear brake bias, so I can turn in more rear brake or less rear brake depending on how the car is handling. Okay, so go ahead and turn the switch on. My finger's in your face there. So on the switch, we've got several buttons. Okay, this button here controls that right front brake fan to cool that front brake. Hear that? This other one on the left controls the left front brake. Okay, so what that does for you, of course it keeps your brakes cooler, but if you go out and the first part of the run, say you're tight, the car don't want to turn, okay, well turn the right front brake fan off or on and leave the left front one off, which will make this tire grow, which will take cross out of the car and free the car up. And the same goes if you're too loose, then you turn the left one off and leave the right one, or turn the right one off and leave the left one on, and that'll tighten the car. So that's a way to adjust the car during the middle of the run if need be. So that's kind of neat. Got them on all four corners. I'm not using the back. The back ones weren't there, so I'm not even using them, but we got all the different options here. This one here actually goes to that helmet blower motor back there. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's actually the fan. This next one goes to that helmet blower motor. So that pulls fresh air into your helmet. This one is to the fan. So yeah, it's kind of tough to figure all that out, but we got her done. So we got all of our fuel lines all hooked up. Got our check valve overflow hooked up. I'll go ahead and throw you on the tripod again for a minute. I'll let you hear this thing. And remember, this is only with the little 500 CFM quick fuel 2-barrel. Can't leave it running too long because, like I said, we don't have belts on it. So there's nothing turning the water pump right now. But she's firing the hole, baby. What we got left is we got to get the belts on it. Like I said, this carburetor's not staying on it. It's going to be on there for now until I order a new 4-barrel or find another 4-barrel. We need to order the double pumper lines because right now I had to steal a fitting off the street stock to be able to hook this carburetor up because that one's got the other carb on it, so we had to use that fitting for it. The brake line on that side was detached, so we reattached it. So we got to go through and bleed all the brakes. We got to do some setup, tow, ride heights, and stuff like that before we even put the body on. And then we'll get this thing on blocks, and we'll set it at our ride height. We'll take the shocks off, we'll back the springs out so that it's sitting on the blocks at the height that we want ride height at, and then we'll go ahead and put the body back on. I'm going to send some of the body parts over. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Send it over to Galen over at Clint, or Clint over at Galen's Auto Body. Have them hook me up. So yeah, things are moving right along. Like I said, we've been going at it since, let's see, I come in here Friday night after work. I stayed here till, I don't know, 11 o'clock last night, and was over here at 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now going on 5, and she's running. All right, thanks for stopping in. We'll catch you on the next one.